You know.
First of all, I just want to say wow. Look at everybody that's here today for Coach DeSpain. So my name is Jeff Hess. I'm the proud principal and also an alumni of Los Altos High School. And I really am truly honored and humbled to be here today to participate in this ceremony, even just for a little bit. Everybody here, you guys know the Conquer tradition, the Conquer family is really strong, and you can see that here today based on everybody around you. Take a look if you haven't taken a look yet. There's so much history here. There's so much history here today. That culture, that tradition, that excellence and pride that we all have in Los Altos High School was due to a big part from Coach DeSpain, and we all know that. So before we get started with some of the speeches, I do want to introduce some of our dignitaries here today who made this happen. So in 2017, we started this process with a committee of Conquer family, right? A big group of you came together to go ahead and start this process. And through those years, you know, we had different boards that helped and supported this, and then we finally had this current board that did a great job in changing some of the policy to make this happen. And we really have to thank them for that. So some of the people here today that we have our board president, we have Mr. Jeffrey Delatorre. Our board vice president, Ms. Christine Salazar. Our superintendent, Dr. Alfonso Jimenez. And in the back here, we have Mr. Manoj Rachadari from Business Services. So again, they made things happen for this. They made some changes and adjustments to make sure that we could do this today. So thank you guys very much for that. I really appreciate you all. So thank you again. At this time, I do want to introduce and bring up again our board president to say a few words.
Hello, Conquer! It's like a reunion, right? I love it. Yeah, you know, both of my kids actually are also alumni too of Los Altos. An amazing high school, wonderful experience. And I want to congratulate our coach, DeSpain, for all the years of championships and building young athletes into amazing scholars too. So I want to congratulate them and his family and all of you guys for being here, taking the time to witness this historic event. So welcome, and on behalf of the school board, I want to congratulate all of you guys for still keeping that spirit, Conquer spirit alive. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And then I'd also like to bring up our superintendent to say a few words as well.
Thank you, Mr. Hess. Welcome, everybody. I just want to say thank you for all of your support, and also to Mr. DeSpain. Thank you for the tradition, the culture, and everything that you have done that makes this school special. And it's an honor to be able to say thank you. Thank you. But it's an honor to be able to say thank you in person, and getting to meet you is very special. And those are the traditions that carry a school. I've been in the district, this is my third year, and I've been here many times on the football field, enjoying all of the sports and everything the school has to offer. I'm very proud of our team, and I want to thank all of you for your continued support of our district. So thank you so much, and congratulations.
So I also just want to point out just a few people that are here today. There's so many to point out, but we have teachers here, we have office staff here, we have alumni here, we have family of alumni here. There are so many people here, but there are even out of the 7 principals that have been here, there are representatives for all 5, or for 5 of the 7 that are here. So we have Miss Linda Harding. Where's Miss Linda Harding at? One of our principals. Oh, I'm sorry, she's right behind you. She's right here. Miss Linda Harding. And representing Gino Tizuti's family, we have his daughters here. Right here. We have Mr. Don White. Where's Mr. White at? Mr. White. And if you noticed, I couldn't say it by his first name because he was my principal. So, hey, Mr. White. Mr. White, thank you. I was never in your office, Mr. White. We also have Mr. Rob Roberts. So again, 5 of the 7 are represented here, and I can say, you know, I was one of those because Coach DeSpain actually hired me and gave me my first job here as a coach. So, yeah. So we also have our athletic directors here who are a big part, Mr. Andrew Fermano and Eric Palmer in the back. We're a big part of making this happen today. So again, too many people to thank. We also have Roberta Price, who our administration building was named after. Roberta is up here. So again, as I kind of talked about, right, that tradition is so strong here at Los Altos High School and that culture, and it's because of all of you and all of these people that didn't necessarily, you know, work here, but were alumni here as well. So I'm going to ask a question right now. So how many of you worked with Dwayne DeSpain? And put your hand up. Woo! Keep your hand up. Keep your hand up. Keep your hands up. How many of you were taught by Coach DeSpain? Keep your hands up. Everybody keep the hands up that I mentioned even before. Look at how many of these people were touched in some way by Coach DeSpain and what the legacy that he's left here. Again, it's very special, very special. So I'm just going to read a little bit of a script just so we have some narrative here. Coach DeSpain's time here at Los Altos High School spanned 4 decades. He won 7 CIF Southern Section Division titles from 1972 to 1988. Was inducted into the CIF Southern Section Hall of Fame and was named Coach of the Century. The Los Altos football program became one of the most recognizable programs in all of CIF Southern Section. Coach DeSpain's record was 244, 94, and 9 from 1969 to 1996. And again, those titles, the very first of which is the 50th anniversary this year, 1972, 1973, 1976, 77, 82, 86, and 88. And that was in some of the top divisions of CIF. He also coached several CIF Southern Section Division Players of the Year. His credentials again include more than 30 years in education, over 200 wins, 19 consecutive winning seasons, 10 league titles, and 7 CIF Southern Section titles. Coach, there is no doubt in anyone's mind here today that you are more than deserving of this honor. Congratulations again. And again, on that personal note, before I even knew I wanted to be a teacher, you were the first athletic director to hire me as assistant coach in cross country, track and field, and you started even my proud time here as a Los Altos employee and coach and administrator, so thank you. So up next, we're going to have a few words from Mark Booth, who was a driving force from the community to make this special night, event, and naming happen. Coach Booth.
All right, well, welcome everybody. When I first was talked to Mr. Hess about this 5 years ago, people were like, this is a no-brainer. Why is it taking so long? Then I come to find out, well, we can't just do what we want to do, which is what I usually did. And there was a lot of paperwork, a lot of things to do, some administrative things had to be changed, and thank you, the board, for doing that, taking care of those things. And it was not a lot of fun. But we're here today, and we're going to appreciate it and look back on this forever and just say, thank you, Dwayne. You're the greatest man I've ever met. So when Mr. Hess said I was going to speak, I thought this was going to be a roast. So then they said, no, you can't. So Roberts and Gano, you're safe. So I first want to thank Mr. Hess. Great programs start at the top. And he's doing a phenomenal job, and he's got us back on the map, and thank you so much. Appreciate it. You're going to be you are a phenomenal principal. And I started out, when I started this process, a lot of people reached out, and one was Gino Dezzuti. So he was the principal here, and his claim to fame was he hired Dwayne DeSpain and Lyle Olson. So some great hires. After that, the principal was Pat Mock. Mr. Mock was phenomenal. Great memories of Mr. Mock. One thing you learned about Mr. Mock was if you were a teacher, that was great, but you better be doing something else. Okay, you better be on some committee, coaching some team, doing something. If you weren't, you got sent to Jurassic Park. I think that was Orange Grove. Sorry. Just joking. So, after Mr. Mock was Dr. Hardy. Phenomenal job. And a lot of you don't know this, but she brought Dwayne out of the closet. Not in that way. She actually got a real coaching office for Dwayne, and things went up from there for Dwayne. So they had a great relationship. Don White, great principal. I only got called to the office twice when I was here with Mr. White. Again, I talked about the school board having the vision to make this thing happen. It wasn't easy. All the paperwork we had to go through, and then I had to get a steering committee, quote unquote. So they said, okay, you need 2 parents from the community. Oh, that's easy. I know a couple people. You need 2 former players, 2 former students, 2 current students, 2 current players, some people that are still on staff. That was easy. Anybody you called and said, hey, we're doing this thing for Coach DeSpain, everybody was on board. Made it really easy. And I appreciate all of you. A lot of them are here, and thank you so much for your time spent making this happen. Then it came, show me the money. All right? Nothing's free, so you had to raise money. Zach Bueller, thank you so much for starting the GoFundMe. Starting, it's easy. Getting the money coming in is a little bit harder. Everybody here probably contributed something, but some people really contributed big. Jason Martin, thank you so much. Hold on. Mr. Biang, thank you, sir. One of Dwayne's former booster club presidents was always there to raise money, raise funds, still doing it today. The Risser family, Royce Risser, couldn't be here today, but I think his brother may be here. His dad was a great booster president as well. So it's taken a village to make this thing happen. I appreciate everybody who's contributed, everybody who's come out to support, and really appreciate it. Love you all. Have a great time. And Dwayne DeSpain, you're the man. Not yet, but... So Dwayne and I go a lot further back than Los Altos. I grew up a block away from Billy and Dwayne. So I knew Lance and Darren when they were just 2 little pain in the ass instead of big pain in the ass. But great family. Miss Billy. Wish she could have been here. A lot of people. Great family. When I got the word, hey, you want to come over and coach at LA? Absolutely. Love you to death, man. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Booth. I had heard that, is Coach Gano here? Is Coach Gano out? Is he here? Oh. I thought Coach Booth mentioned that he was here. I just wanted to make sure that he was here, we recognized him too, because he's a legend as well. Up next to speak, we have a quarterback from the 1972 championship team, USC quarterback, NFL quarterback, and player in Super Bowl 15. Please help me welcome Rob Hurdle.
All right, y'all. All I can say, it's about damn time, don't you think? It is an honor and a privilege for me to speak at this long overdue ceremony in recognition of this football field dedication to Coach DeSpain. My 3 brothers, Rick, Ron, and Randy, and I all had the opportunity to play for Coach DeSpain's program from 1969 to 1976. Rick, Ron, and I are here today to honor Coach for this dedication. I played from 70 to 72. Coach, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for having the confidence to bring me up as a freaking scrawny sophomore in 1979 after some injuries put you in a position to make that decision. I'm just happy it worked out, you know. In 71, I'm gonna regress a little bit and talk about kind of how we got to this point today. 71, we really had a good team, and we had probably our best team in many years. We finished 6-3, lost those 3 games by a total of 8 points. We beat the number 3 team in CIF 3A, South Hills. We were huge underdogs pretty much all year. The South Hills, are you a Husky? I'm sorry for you guys. I wish we could have played you guys every week because we owned you. Anyway. On that 71 team, we were led by seniors like Alex Godinez, Wayne Sieber, and Rick Benton, God rest their souls. Bruce Wilson, George Beck, Steve Lyon, Steve Dunn. We missed the playoffs by 1 game after losing to West Covina, 24-21. Right? I'll never forget it. They kicked a 54-yard field goal on the last play of the game. You know, so we lost that. But I'll tell you what, that right there enabled us as a junior class to know what it was like to win and to compete, and we came out smoking the next year. I'm sure opponents didn't schedule us for their homecoming games any longer, so that was a good thing. 72 was a magical year for us. We kind of got off to a rough start. We were 2-0-2, but we beat West Covina for the first time in the school's history, and then won 9 straight, including the 3 playoff games where we beat Serra Gardena, Claremont, and La Habra. And then we got to the championship game and played number 1 ranked Santa Maria here at Mount Sac. A little game recap of that. We were down 15-8 with under 2 minutes to go. We probably had our best drive of the night. We drove down, we scored with less than a minute to go. And this is really where I feel like Coach DeSpain, this is where the legend came from with Coach. 15-14, did we go for the tie, kick the extra point? No way. No, we did not. We did not. Coach says, are you kidding me right now? We're underdogs. We've always been an underdog. Let's get the freaking gorilla off our back as a program. We're going for 2, you know. So, Gary Sieber, where are you, my man? Where is he in the back? Okay, baby. So, picture this. We called a play. It was called quarterback sweep roll. So what we did was we put the ball on the left hash with the wide side of the field to the right in order to flood the zones with as many wide receivers and running backs as we could. And then I rolled to the right. We had a tight position on the left. Gary Sieber was the tight end, basically, and he was a distraction because everybody was pretty much watching for him. He was the Cooper Kupp back in the day, you know? And so I get the snap, I start rolling to my right. Dave Price takes out the first guy, and so now it allows me to get to the outside looking for somebody to throw to. Kirk Tanner, Bobby Weissel, God rest his soul, Binky Benton, Mike Hill, all covered. So now, because what am I going to do now? I just happened to look back, okay? Gary Sieber had blocked the end on the weak side of the field, went down to 2 knees, he was basically on the ground, and then he stands up and he's waving his arms. So I turned around, I saw him, I said, wait a second, he can't be that wide open. Probably the most pressure throw I've ever had in my life. Just get him the damn ball, you know? So I got it to Gary, he caught it, dove into the end zone, go up 16-15. Now there's still 35 seconds to go in the game. We're facing the number 1 rushing offense basically in California. And we had to stop them, you know, because we're running out of time. 2 guys that were on that defense, that led to that stop, Don Dahl and Rick Godinez, were both on that starting defense that stopped that. So we just, that was our first CIF championship, baby. Our first. There's something to be said about the first one, And so obviously after that, Coach DeSpain won the next year, and repeated in 73, won again in 76. You guys, winning became contagious here. Guys wanted to play here, So many kids playing youth football in Hacienda Heights wanted to play in Coach DeSpain's program. He brought pride and unity to this community. The culture changed, and Los Altos football was the hottest thing going. Was he tough on us? Damn right he was. He didn't care who the hell you were or what you'd done in the past. He's going to be fair with you, and he's going to kick your ass no matter what. So he and his coaching staff, Coach Olson, Coach Merrill, Area, Coach King, Coach Brundage, Freeze, Stangland, amongst a bunch of other guys. Those guys taught us the work ethic, dedication, commitment, and mental toughness. The players before us paved the way for us. We idolized those guys, and we didn't want to let them down. Guys like Romero Godinez. He played back in the the late 60s for Coach, and he's here today. But I think I can speak for all of we former players when I say, Coach, you are truly deserving of this recognition. It's about 20 years overdue. Young players will be playing on Dwayne DeSpain Field for decades to come. That's the coolest thing. Thank you for what you did for us, Coach. And thank you very much, everybody. Go Conquerors, baby.
And finally, we have some words from Coach DeSpain's son, Darren, who was on his dad's 1986 championship team.
Wow, pretty impressive. Thank you so much for being here. This means a lot to my family. I'm not going to cry, though. I want to start off, Dr. Hess, thank you so much, Andrew Fermano, for making this all happen. I also want to thank the Booster Club for all of their countless hours and their dedication to the program. So let's give them a round of applause. Also like to thank Mark Booth, Zach Bueller, Ernie D. for making this day happen. I want to recognize my dad's coaching staff, because without that coaching staff, none of this happens. The great Lyle Olson was the backbone of the program. Danny Area and my dad went to junior high school. They went to high school together, and they played football at Pepperdine, and we lost him last year. So the hats off to Danny Area on his commitment to my father and the program. Wait till you hear this list of these coaches. You're going to be blown away on how good these coaches are in this valley. We got Rick Freeze. We got Chuck Calver. We got Dennis Stangland. We got Dave Merrill. We got Neil Shapiro. We got Ricky Godinez. We got Greg Gano. We got Mark Booth. We got Rob Roberts, John Howie, and even Binky Benton. Pretty impressive. In the beginning, it was a tough road for a 27-year-old head coach. He probably won 5 games in his first 5 years, and he probably almost got fired. But with that great coaching staff, he, from 1972 on into the 90s, made the playoffs every year. Think about that. From 72 into the 90s, made the playoffs every year. That's a testament to the great players and the coaching staff that he had, without a doubt. I'm going to cry. We lost my mom in February. Hang in there, dear. But she was my rock. She was our rock. She was the glue that kept it all together. And without her, we would have never been able to have this day today. So thank you, Mom. I appreciate your love. 7 CI champions later, High School Hall of Fame coach, San Gabriel Coach of the Valley. Yes, he was my coach. Yes, he was and remains my best friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Dwayne DeSpain.
Yeah, this is such an honor, and to be a part of a wonderful coaching staff, I was very fortunate. I was just one part. And I look back and I think of all the wonderful parents and all the wonderful fundraising they did for us. And then I remember my boss, Dr. Linda Harding. And I can remember all of a sudden I come in and I'm sitting in the office and the guy said, "You're not here anymore." I said, what do you mean? She had me moved up next to her. And so I knew right then and there I better be really on the ball. You know, the players we had worked so hard, and we were so lucky to have them. And such a winning part for me was the wonderful coaching staff and how hard they worked. And I'm very fortunate. You know, my memory is not very good anymore, but to be here and to see all the moms and dads and to be a part of a wonderful athletic program at Los Altos High School, I was very fortunate. And I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank all the players and my wonderful coaching staff for all the hard work they did. And God bless all of you, and thank you so much for being here.
So it's that time. Let's unveil this stone. All right?
Take it off, coach. Do it. Let's go. Yes, sir.
Thank you.